Somebody's got to be crazy.
Hello and welcome to Blackmans Bay Studios. My name is Mick and this is my old mate Keith, and now in the year 2030 it is normal for people to apologise for being white, able-bodied heterosexuals, but I'm not having none of that fucking bollocks, are you, Keith?
No, there's no need for it. No need for it. Yeah. Now, you might be wondering what we're doing out here. We alluded to it a little bit in the titles, but we are men on the run, aren't we?
Yes, we are.
You know, we're still using the word, the name Blackmans Bay Studio, even though it has been eradicated from the records. We might do a little bit more about that later. But we're on the run because they want to shut us down.
Yeah.
That is why we're here in the middle of Bass Strait on the old, see the picture behind, on the old TV Caroline, going back to the old days of your pirate radio of the 60s. So this is what we've actually had to resort to, because we are men on the run.
Yes.
You know, they're looking for us everywhere. In fact, there is a poem about it.
Yes.
We've called ourselves the Shadows, right? They seek us here, they seek us there. Those lefty commies seek us everywhere. Are we in heaven or are we in hell? Those damned elusive shadows. That's all right, isn't it? I mean, that pulls along, you know.
Inspiring.
It does, you know. We're still fighting for our corner, for the truth, freedom of speech, and of course there's no such thing as freedom of speech anymore in these dark days of 2030. So we're bringing you this current affairs news programme to see, you know, get everybody fired back up there. And we're going to get into it right now. Thank you. We're going to start off with a bit of Australian news, Mick.
Yes, I think that's the way to start.
Off you go.
Well, the first thing is that the 6 metre tall statue of Ned Kelly has been removed from the town that used to be called Glenrowan, in the state that used to be called Victoria, which was the scene of Kelly's last gunfight. It's not politically correct, so that's been removed.
All gone.
As alluded to earlier, the eradication of all place names with the word black in them is now complete, as well as the changing of all names that hark back to English colonisation. They've all gone, so if you want to ask someone where directions anywhere, they don't know where the fuck to go, do they?
Well,
I don't know where I live anymore.
No, that's right. We don't know where we are anymore because you can't pronounce it.
No.
There's no use asking me, you know, me going up to a copper and saying, excuse me, can you tell me where Ulam Gucha Watcha Flammer that is? Because I just don't know, do I?
No, we don't know.
You know?
So, there's still a bit of planning there, Keith.
Well, that's right. Yeah, that's right. Okay, now, next item of news we've got is the new Australian flag. So this was, there was a referendum held about 5 years ago, it took them quite a while. So here's a picture of the new Australia flag, and of course it's a lot of controversy over this, Nick. You know, this was borne out by the fact that China bought the last square footage of Australia 6 years ago, and they've been waiting to change the flag for a long time. This was done under a referendum, of course, and the controversy was that they allowed the new Chinese immigrants to vote on whether they wanted this flag, even though they weren't citizens.
Yeah, that's right.
And of course all the university towns, everywhere there's universities, just flooded with millions of these Chinese students, and of course they all voted it in, and you've got no say, have you?
No.
So that is the news. There's a picture there. That is the new flag.
Lovely, isn't it? Okay, and then as we enter the flu season, hopes are high that there's a downturn in the pandemics going back to 2020, the China virus outbreak, which will mean that the preventative measures will be very small, and it will be the lowest flu season for many, many years. So that's a bit of good news, isn't it?
Yeah, it is a bit, yeah.
Not a lot. But
no, just right. On to a bit of sport. The AFL season, following on from the Premier League, English Premier League season, has been abandoned until further notice. And you might think, well, yeah, the last time this happened was back in 2020, I think, from memory, wasn't it? 2020, because of the China virus. This time round, though, however, it's been abandoned because of player injuries. Now, believe it or not, they've been injured because they've been taking that many knees. They've been getting down on their knees that much, they've actually all ended up with housemaid's knee, or an injury very similar to housemaid's knee, and there's that many of them, they just can't field teams anymore. I'll just point out that in Australia it's actually known as nursemaid's knee. Don't ask, don't ask. So anyway, so the seasons have been called off, and really they got themselves to blame, I reckon. Yeah. You know, getting down on the knee like that. Dear oh Lord. Anyway.
To overseas news now, and we go to Italy. Very sad news coming out of Italy. It's been announced that the Colosseum is to be demolished.
Yeah.
Yes, it's a building that took 80 years to build, and it's going to be demolished in one day. Sad. Yeah. And this comes after the Italian authorities took down all the statues of the past emperors from the Roman period because of their use of slaves for building and for games, which were deemed not appropriate in this modern era. So, and also the statue of David by Leonardo da Vinci is going to be removed because it's said to offend transgender individuals.
Yeah, so that's all gone now. We're getting down now to the virtually nothing left, is there?
No, that's right.
But yeah. Okay, to the UK now, and I'm not sure if you've probably seen it in the papers, but Britain has now got the world's first joint prime ministers. And here we see a picture of them. There they are. They've got funny names, so I won't go into their names, but they're the first LGB, FMI, FM, GT, you know, prime ministers in the country, and there they are looking at getting the keys and off there jumping their way in there, aren't they?
Yep.
Right. You know, and funny enough, the whole cabinet, they've announced their new cabinet, and it's going to be entirely made up of gay and lesbian couples. So that should be interesting in the UK, see what's going on, shouldn't it? You know. So yeah, we'll see how we go. And again in the UK, again a bit from our point of view, a bit of sad news. The last statue in the UK has finally been removed. We'll see a picture of it here. There it is. Look, Nelson's column has finally been removed from Trafalgar Square. You see that little statue on the right, or what was a statue on the right, which is Charles I. That's been gone 8 years now.
I think so.
That one, Charles I. You can't have him, can you?
No.
Oh, no. But Nelson's column took a lot more planning, but it's finally been taken down to appease these. Well,
we don't know.
I don't know who to appease really. Yeah, so we don't really know about that.
Yeah,
you know.
Also in the UK, ex-UK Prime Minister Sir Boris Johnson leads the campaign to have Horatio Nelson reinstated into Nelson Mandela Diversity Square, arguing that the square should celebrate a British hero, not a foreign one. He also campaigning to get the name changed back to Trafalgar Square.
Quite rightly.
Exactly.
Yeah. We don't want all these foreigners, do we? Hey? Can't have that. You know. But you're not allowed to say that no more.
No, you're not. Not allowed to say that. No, that's true.
Yeah, all right. Yeah, so there's a little bit of news from 2030. It's going to be a tough old 10 years coming up, isn't it?
Very tough.
Very
tough, yeah.
You know, there's a campaign, don't forget there's White Lives Matter rallies going on everywhere, isn't there?
Yeah.
You know? But they're being severely crushed, and as soon as you say White Lives Matter, mate,
the army's out.
The army's out, they're crushing everybody.
Yeah.
You know, they're not going to have any of that nonsense, are they?
No, certainly not. No.
You know? White Lives, oh dear. Eh? Nearly, you know, you can't even say the word now, can you,
No,
like that,
no,
eh?
no.
You know, yeah.
We can.
We can, that's why we're here.
Yes.
That is why we're here. We're flying the flag for freedom of speech and our freedoms, you know.
And I think that's about it, Keith.
Yeah. Look, thanks for watching. It's the news gets even more depressing, doesn't it? There's virtually no good news anymore, is there?
No, it's not.
You know, you open the newspapers. Well, I think there's only one newspaper left now, which is state. Certainly in Australia, there's only one newspaper left now, which is owned by the government. We've only got one TV station, which is the ABC. Which is state sponsored by the Chinese Communist Party, of course. So we don't see any TV, which is one of the reasons that we're broadcasting from the middle of the Bass Strait, because we're all being closed down.
Yeah.
You know, there's no music stations anymore because in case they shove in the odd political song, is there? Remember remember the old days of the 60s?
Yeah.
You know, the old freedom songs and you know, don't have none of that, eh?
Anyway, that's enough for now. So thanks for watching.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
And we'll be back with you very, very soon, probably 2031. Ta.
This has been a Blackmans Bay Studio production.